The most miserable people that I've ever met were also the most consciously aware, and that's not a coincidence. And look, I'm not talking about ignorant people, I'm talking about the people who did the work, who read the books, did all the self-help, the people who, I guess, made it, yet they still ended up in this empty blank space of, I guess, nothingness in their mind because they have zero idea what they want to do. There's a specific feeling that you get when you unlock a certain amount of information, almost like you feel more powerful, like everyone else is still on the tutorial stage and you've passed it, right? You're smarter, you feel more achievable, and that you've done more in life. Yet the reality of it is that's just dopamine, and our brains don't care how you get dopamine because any sort of dopamine feels good at the moment. And at some point, that content or that book or that idea keeps on feeding you, yet it's still a bunch of regurgitated things just for your brain. That dopamine is just going to overlap and overlap. It doesn't actually mean anything the more and more you consume it because you just become more consciously aware. And we've all heard the saying, ignorance is bliss. And over time, you start to get this idea in your head, for example, everyone's an NPC, or, these people are stupid. This whole thing's a scam, everything around us is fake, like this all a simulation. This is how you start to think. Every friendship or relationship feels fake because you feel like you've unlocked a certain level above them. You feel like, what's the point of talking to these regular people, right? This is just stuff that goes on not only in my head occasionally, but I feel like a lot of people's. That's why I'm making this video, because I feel like not a lot of people are talking about this. Look, I'm just gonna keep it real with you guys. I had maybe 400 contacts and maybe 0 people to call at 2 a.m. if I really needed something. And it's not really about that, but what it's about is that this whole red pill idea basically just tells you why you're miserable and leaves you there. It doesn't actually give you a reason or a way to escape it. Everyone thinks that they've escaped the matrix once they realize a new idea. And for example, I'm sure you've seen some of the anti-Semitic videos that are going viral online, and these people who think just because they saw this video or that they now believe that the Jews are the only reason they're not successful, they think they've unlocked some superpower mindset. Like, no, you are an idiot. The Jews are not stopping you from going to the gym. The Jews are not stopping you from getting rich. You are just giving yourself an excuse, and it's an excuse that you thought was reasonable, or you had to be smarter to find out that excuse. But in the reality, you've put yourself in a new jail. You've painted the walls of your own cell. And here's where it all shifted for me. A few months ago when I was in Miami, Florida, I was sitting in the park. I was just doing nothing. I was actually laying on the grass, doing absolutely nothing. And I thought to myself, am I actually living, or what even is this? I'm just narrating my own life, and I have been for the last several years, for as long as I can really remember, since I was a kid. And it's like, at this point, like, what am I even doing with my life? I feel like I just wake up and I have these objectives that I need to complete, and it's the same day over and over again. Nothing new or crazy really happens too often, and it really leaves me with this idea that I haven't even been present in my own life. If you overanalyze everything in this life, you will never be happy. For example, if you go to a party with a bunch of your friends and you're that person who thinks parties aren't very cool, they're for stupid people or losers, whatever it is, right? You've heard the videos online. And so if you're there at the party and you're overanalyzing it, thinking, what are these people doing? They're just sitting here drinking, they're absolute nobodies, they're doing nothing with their life. That's what you're going to start to think if you're that person who overanalyzes everything. And therefore you will never be able to enjoy a gathering or a party. And if you've seen some of my videos, recently I've talked about jesters or jester maxing. And I'm not saying to be a jester in your life just to be a goofy clown and do, stupid shit. What I'm saying is to be that guy who, regardless of whether or not they know the rules of the game or that they've maybe even beaten the game before, to just play the game and have fun. Be that guy. It's okay. Like, go out, have fun, realize who you are, that life is short, fuck it, we ball, is about the only mindset you really need to have. And something I've been thinking about recently is that the words fuck it, we ball might be the best answer to just about every scenario, right? Maybe not every single one of them. Of course, there are exceptions, they exist. But, just about any scenario, you toss those words on top of it and you actually inflict that mindset into your reality, you're just gonna be better off, right? You lose some money, fuck it, we ball. Or you go outside, you have a good day, you're like, fuck it, we ball. It's the best mindset. And look, I'm not telling you to go back to sleep or go back to being an ignorant person who doesn't know anything. What I'm saying is don't let it encounter or engulf your main personality. Don't let it be your personality, because at the end of the day, if you're that person who knows everything yet can't enjoy anything, you're just dying a slow, miserable life, and it's already happening. The goal wasn't to see through everything. The goal was to be able to know everything yet still be real. And that's not really possible when you're detached from the reality of your own life, constantly thinking about everything around you. Most of the time, it's always in a negative impact. And because, if you're always thinking about how, the media is slandering us, the people around you are NPCs, everything's fake, it's all a simulation, of course you're not going to enjoy your life. You need to learn to just let an experience be an experience without putting it in a filing cabinet under your mind. I want you to try it for 1 week. Go out and have fun. Go and hang out with people without diagnosing them or analyzing every single thing about them. Go and enjoy the company you're with. Go and sit in the mountains or the grass and just lay there. Look at the sun. Go out at night. Look at the stars. Like, really just be present with yourself. That should be the only objective you have throughout this week that actually matters. The truth pill was always supposed to be the beginning, but at some point it became the entire thing.